What if every legendary Pokemon got a Mega Evolution? I have been asking this question in a couple of videos recently, since Megas are obviously an amazing and fan-favorite feature, and while some legendaries got them, most of them didn't or haven't to this point. So I have been imagining a world where every legendary gets a Mega with some designs of my very own, and in this video, we are here to take a look at some more, so let's check it out. So these legendary Megas aren't the only legendary part of this video, as they were made possible in the first place thanks in part to today's legendary sponsor, Manscaped, and their new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. I have used the previous performance packages from Manscaped and honestly loved them, and yet this one is just so much better. First, it comes with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Razor. This razor comes equipped with skin-safe technology, interchangeable blades, a built-in LED light with multiple color settings, and it's also cordless and even waterproof. It's insane. This package also includes the Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer, and this thing is amazing too. When those nostrils get a little out of control, this thing can effortlessly and seamlessly clean them right up. On top of that, you also get the Crop Preserver and Crop Soother with this package, a dynamic duo of deodorant and aftershave lotion designed to keep you at your freshest after a shave. And as if that wasn't enough, you even get 2 free gifts: Manscaped's Anti-Chafing Boxers 2.0 and their new and improved Shed 2.0 travel bag. If you can believe it, you can even get all of this for 20% off with free shipping when you use the link in the description below and use code HoopsVGM at checkout. It also supports the channel when you do, so it's honestly an unbelievably good deal all the way around. So again, check that out with the link below, and a big thank you to Manscaped for supporting the channel. Okay, so this batch of legendaries is all themed around the upcoming Indigo Disc DLC for Scarlet and Violet, as we are going to cover the Unova trio of Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem, as well as Terapagos. Let's go ahead and start things off with Kyurem though. If you've ever wondered before what a Mega Kyurem might look like, then I am happy to say that I've got an answer for you, because it could look something like this. As always, a huge shout out goes to my very good friend Oscar Belmonte for drawing the artwork of these designs, and you can check him out and his amazing work with the links in the description below. As for Mega Kyurem though, the concept behind this design is actually really cool in my opinion. While it does stay a Dragon Ice type, since I feel like that's a perfectly good to go kind of typing for this Pokemon even with a Mega, the idea behind the design in particular is that upon Mega evolving, Kyurem essentially becomes Gray Kyurem. It obviously has its enhanced Black Kyurem and White Kyurem forms that it becomes upon fusing with Reshiram and Zekrom, so this design was created as if it was the equivalent gray version of those forms, a form that Kyurem can take on and own itself, without relying on Zekrom and Reshiram to be powered up. Kyurem is basically a husk of a Pokemon that was never meant to be its own Pokemon in the first place, since it is just what was left over after the original Unova Dragon split into Reshiram and Zekrom. And while it is still very powerful, you can definitely tell that it is a shell of its former self. In its original form, parts of its body are even damaged, like its right horn and its wing, so this Mega Kyurem design essentially restores Kyurem and makes it whole again, and not only repairs those aforementioned damaged parts, but takes it from a shell of a Pokemon to a true behemoth of a Pokemon of its very own, and once again makes it an unofficial Gray Kyurem that didn't happen, but that the opportunity is there for, and personally, I think that would be an amazing thing to see, and I would take a Mega Kyurem that looked like this any day of the week. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at Mega Reshiram. If these Pokemon were to ever get Megas for real, I think it would be amazing for Mega Reshiram to look something like this. Now, with this design, you might be able to see where I'm going with this. Just like how I made Mega Kyurem as a gray Kyurem of sorts, I thought that the perfect way to go for Mega Reshiram was to make it a black Reshiram. Again, in the same vein as Black and White Kyurem. After all, these three Pokemon were once all one Pokemon, so Reshiram and Zekrom could theoretically fuse together or be rebonded with each other just as much as Kyurem can with them. On top of that, since Mega Evolution brings out the true potential of the Pokemon that undergoes it, and it brings out an energy within them that otherwise couldn't normally be brought out, a black Reshiram approach for Mega Reshiram also works well with its lore, since Reshiram would naturally still have remnants of the original dragon inside it, which of course includes features of Zekrom which are being brought out by the Mega Evolution process. So I feel like this one was just a really good opportunity from multiple angles that was just there for the taking. Not to mention, adding black to Reshiram's design makes it look unbelievably cool, and for good measure, it even gets Zekrom's eyes as a part of this quote-unquote fusion as well. It is still a dragon fire type, as you can probably tell from its flaming tail, wings, and mane, which was also another purposeful element, as normally, Reshiram only sees these features when it's in its overdrive mode, but with Mega Evolution filling up its body with massive amounts of energy, this overdrive mode becomes a permanently fixated part of its physiology. I know that Mega Evolution probably won't come back for a while if it ever comes back at all, but if it ever did, and by some stroke of luck we actually got a Mega Reshiram, I think this would be the perfect concept for it. Following Reshiram, we of course have now got to look to Zekrom, and without further ado, this is what a Mega Zekrom could look like. It, of course, follows the same concept as my Mega Kyurem and Reshiram, and essentially becomes White Zekrom in its Mega Evolution. And yeah, if you couldn't tell already, I really want to be able to see the original dragon appear in a game someday, so get on it, Game Freak. With this design, though, Mega Zekrom is really just an opposite equivalent of Mega Reshiram, which is also another reason why I think this works well, since it maintains that yin and yang duality of Reshiram and Zekrom, in a way that also calls back to their individual lore. As such, though, it obviously gains features of Reshiram, including its eyes, just like Reshiram did with Zekrom, and thanks to the energy of Mega Evolution, it is also in a constant state of its overdrive mode. And if that overdrive mode hasn't already given away its typing, it also retains its type too, just like the other two, and stays Dragon Electric. I really like the idea of Zekrom and Reshiram fusing with each other in just the same way that they fused with Kyurem, and even if it wasn't used in a Mega Evolution, I could honestly see it being a way that they give Reshiram and Zekrom new forms if that rumored new Unova game that possibly is coming soon actually happens. But hopefully, for the love of Arceus, that also comes along with the appearance of the original dragon as well, because that is like the #1 must-have priority above all else, so please make it happen, Game Freak. With that said though, that is the Mega Tau trio for you. Be sure to let me know all of your thoughts about these three in the comments below, as we now turn our focus to Terapagos. Now, as cool as it is imagining what Megas could be like for the Tau trio, looking at what Terapagos could be like with a Mega is arguably even more exciting, since Terapagos is such a new Pokemon. It came into existence long after Megas have come and gone, and for that reason, I feel like giving it a Mega is especially interesting. With that said, this is what Mega Terapagos could look like. Now, with the Indigo Disc DLC having yet to even release at the time of this video's release, we don't really know much of anything about how Terapagos is going to work. All we know is that it has a normal form and a Terra form. We also know, however, that it is an extremely powerful Pokemon, as it is more or less seeming to be the source of everything that is going on in Scarlet and Violet's story, with the Paradox Pokemon and Area Zero in particular. So even as small and cute as normal Terapagos is, it only felt right that its Mega should look extremely powerful, as a Mega Evolution would unleash some of that unbelievable power that we've heard so much about. I also wanted it to contrast well design-wise with Terraform Terapagos so that each form had a distinct look and identity. That is why it stands straight up compared to the Terraform that's on all fours, and it's also why, in comparison to Terraform Terapagos being based on the mythical turtle known as the Minogame from Japanese folklore, that Mega Terapagos takes inspiration from another kind of mythical turtle, the dragon turtle from Chinese folklore. This, in particular, helps to give it the hairstyle that it has, and it even gives it a bit of a Chinese warlord type of look as well. It also inspires its typing as well, as Mega Terapagos is a dragon type. And while we currently don't have any idea what type Terapagos is actually going to be, because that is a point of mystery and specific emphasis with this Pokemon, Dragon is what I am going to go with here, not only because of the Mega inspiration, but also because most people seem to agree that as far as a default type goes, Dragon seems to be a good potential candidate for Terapagos' typing, or at least for part of it. So while we currently don't have any official information on what Terapagos' type is going to be, that is what I'm going to roll with. This would not be the only type that Mega Terapagos has though, because it would also have a special signature ability known as Treasure Eyes, which would give Mega Terapagos a random secondary type to go along with its dragon typing that also changes every turn. I thought that this would be a really fun way of retaining Terapagos' motif of having all of the types, but also probably doing it a bit differently to whatever the Terraform does with its typing. It also is a pretty powerful ability, but a legendary Mega Pokemon, and especially one that is as powerful as Terapagos seems to be, deserves a powerful ability. So I think this would be a really fun and cool way to go, and the potential that's here, especially with the newer Pokemon like Terapagos, is just another reason why, even if it is a bit of wishful thinking, that Megas should definitely make a return at some point. What do you think about these legendary Megas though? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more if you're new to the channel, because it really helps out and is super appreciated. With that said, I'll be back very soon with another new video. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. I really appreciate it. And until then, as always, I will smell you guys later.